Hello Internet, my name's mflareflare and welcome back to episode 8 of my Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Battle Spot Singles Series. Today I lied. We're bringing the same team again. That win in the last episode really gave me the confidence to come back out and show this team off again. Trying to get Sylveon and, well, Sylveon already came out to play. We're trying to get Excadrill to come out and play, but that all depends. So we're going to get right back into things. Last episode, go check it out. Ended up with a win. Saw that power of Mega Kangaskhan and why people despise it so much. But really, it should be. This is all about having fun. So I'm just having fun winning. Winning is fun sometimes, you know, especially losing after so much. So interesting team for my opponent. We got a Talonflame, Rotom Wash, Mega Kang, Chatot, a what is Aegislash and a Greninja. So common weaknesses, we got 2 weak to rocks, 1 weak to earthquake, 2 immunities. Greninja's weak to whatever. So things that do well against my opponent's team. Volcarona kind of jealous. I really like Jellicent in this matchup. Only thing being the Aegislash to really counter that. Actually, Excadrill kind of does well in here too, especially Excadrill with Mold Breaker actually does really well. So I think see if he leads Kangaskhan, see I could definitely see him leading Rotom Wash, but I could also see him leading Talonflame, which would also be a problem. But I'm gonna lead off with Excadrill, Jellicent, and now who do I want to? It's between Volcarona, Mega Kang, and Krookodile. Now Volcarona can take care of. Actually, I think Volcarona does really well, just because Jellicent can take on everything but the Greninja, and just got to get up a Quiver Dance here. I think is the important thing. So let's get started, and hopefully he doesn't lead off with Talonflame's okay because I'm running the Focus Sash on. So, not the end of the world, but kind of the end of the world. But, I mean, if the Rotom comes out, Earthquake 4 days. But I don't think he'd stay in. Especially since it'll reveal the... And that is not... That is a Chatot. Okay. So I'm breaking molds here. What are you gonna do? I'm almost curious as to see what he's going to do, so I'm kind of curious to protect, but then again, I kind of just want to go for a Rock Slide here, which I think I'm going to do. So I'm just going to fire off a Rock Slide here. Shatter. That's going to break my Sash. Please don't confuse me. I think Shatter, I don't know, so if I can break through, and there's the Rock Slide, that's going to probably bring this thing down to its potential Focus Sash, which I'm guessing it's running. Yep. So, he's running Sash. I mean, he could go for a Chatter again, but I really see him switching out, not wanting to deal with confusion or anything. So I'm just going to go for an Iron Head just to get the guaranteed knockout, not mess around with anything. Boomber is going to come out. I'm going to resist that quite heavily. Snapping out of my confusion, getting an Iron Head off, and that's going to be the end of this Chatot here. Chatot with an unnecessary crit. 1 hit point of damage. Can't do anything less than 1 hit point. Well, he could do 0, but that's kind of situationally best. As Kangaskhan's going to come in. I kind of want to save this Excadrill just in case he has Rotom in the back. I'm going to go out on Jellicent here, just because can't really do much to my Jellicent. But I'm going to be able to burn him and do all sorts of naughty things to him. So Mega Kangaskhan, I'm going to show its face here, and unless he's rocking some move other than Sucker Punch, which is, I can stall him out of Sucker Punch is no problem, especially on this kind of set. So he's going to fake out. It's not going to affect Jellicent. He did not have a Fire type, so I am free to... I'm going to Will-O-Wisp. So he's going to withdraw. I'm going to guess if he brought the... Yep. So, very interesting here. So, I have to be careful. Not really. So, we're going to play this game of Protect Is that about Volcarona? Really don't want to put Volcarona. I mean, here's the thing. I have to keep this Jellicent around for the Kangaskhan. So what I'm going to do is protect, get some more burn damage off on this thing, and then so he's going to stance change here, go right into attack formation, and fire off Shadow Ball. Okay, so the Jellicent's going to protect itself, and he's going to rack up the burn damage there. So, I mean, he's at the point where he had, like, Jellicent is my win con, for sure. So I have to preserve this Jellicent at all costs. And I cannot let this thing get its weakness policy boost. So I'm going to go on to Volcarona here. I really don't care about Volcarona. Volcarona is probably the least not necessary thing, and I can just start setting up Quiver Dances like crazy. So he's going to stance change back. Smart play on my opponent's part. So he's going to King Shield here, but it fails. So that means he can do it again. I'm going to Quiver Dance, try and get many Quiver Dances up as I possibly can. So I'm going to Quiver Dance here, get to +1/+1. So you're going to withdraw, go out into the Kangaskhan. We're going to play this game, are we? So really, I have this kind of wrapped up in the bag here, because he's not going to really... I'm not going to stay out against his Kangaskhan and let him set up power punches or anything like that. I'm going to go right back out in the Jellicent here. And really, unless he's rocking like Crunch, Earthquake, or something of that nature, he really can't do anything to the Jellicent. And he's risking Flame Body. So he's going to go smart double switch by my opponent there, predicting me to go out into the Jellicent. But the problem is that burn damage is really going to start racking up. So I'm going to protect, which is the smart play again. So I'm going to protect here. And then I'm probably going to switch out into the King Shield, but it fails. Dude, what are you expecting out of me? So he's definitely going to attack here. I'm bluffing the Shadow Ball. So I'm going to go out, probably sack off the Excadrill, because Excadrill doesn't really do me much good against the... Because I think he's in range for... He's definitely in range for Volcarona to come in and Flamethrower him. So that's not the problem. The problem is the Kangaskhan, to be quite honest with you. So Excadrill, I'm sacking off the Excadrill Hill, just getting more burn damage off. So he's desperately trying to get off. So here comes the Shadow Ball. I've been playing it really smart, just not wanting to expose the So I'm gonna go out on Volcarona here. I'm pretty free to go ahead and just Flamethrower this sucker, because he is definitely in range. Actually, I could just Quiver Dance here. Bring your Kangaskhan if you want. I don't really... It's not going to be a problem. Like, I'm bold, max HP, max defense. So I'm just going to Quiver Dance up. He's going to just try and go for a Shadow Ball, try and get as much damage off this Volcarona as he can. But this burn damage is really going to rack up. And getting the burn on this thing that's going to do not nearly enough damage as... I think I'm going to get greedy. Don't kind of want to get greedy, but I think what I'm going to do here... He can King Shield all he wants. He's not living this next turn, so... And... So I think he could just switch... Yeah, he's going to switch out here. And try and preserve that thing, but I have a Protect, and I'm not going to let him... So I'm going to Flamethrower +1... Mega... So... Here's the thing, he could go, like, I'm not concerned about him getting a fake up power punch or whatnot, because the more he tries to hit me, the more likely it is that he's just going to get blown back by... He's not living another Flamethrower, which I outspeed him. He went for not Sucker Punch, and that's going to be the end of the Mega Kangaskhan, and Volcarona going to do a nice sweep here, pick up the broom, Volcarona set it on fire, and just watch the broom burn. Some men just like to watch the broom burn, and that's really... It's got 1, maybe 2 turns left, and you're not going to live this. So he has to attack here, not even bother going to go for the King Shield, and that's going to wrap things up. Get another win. We're on a little bit of a winning streak now with this team here. 2 wins in a row. Volcarona coming in the clutch, showing why Quiver Dancing Volcarona is so powerful. The Mega Kangaskhan, see, just have to learn, like a lot of people complain, Mega Kangaskhan this, too powerful, too powerful. Right, it is powerful, but you just have to know a lot of them aren't going to carry something to hit. Like my Jellicent set, there's what, I have 3 non-attacking moves, especially since the VGC, and that's how you deal with Kangaskhan and VGC. You burn it, and you just don't let it attack it, and you have your partner kind of deal with it. But seeing as VGC's changed now, I haven't really had the time to get into it, because I don't have all the necessary Pokemon to battle. But Flame Body is also very threatening, especially since Contact will burn. There's what, 30% chance of getting a burn? So that Kangaskhan really, unless it has an indirect move like Earthquake, which Kangaskhan can learn, then it's kind of in a lot of troubles. And going after the Jellicent's also a problem, seeing as it doesn't have really, normally when Sucker Punch, Fake Out, Return, Double Edge, and Power Punch, or Low Kick, so really nothing to deal with it. As we see a Jellicent Mirror, a Mega Mawile, a Mamoswine, a Breloom, what's that? A Hydreigon, and a Talonflame. So, again, Volcarona does kind of well against my opponent's team, minus the potential Rock Slide on the Mamoswine and the Talonflame, which I definitely can see my opponent bringing. Jellicent also very good. Curse Body is going to be an issue, because Curse Body is always an issue, but I have Mold Breaker on my Excadrill, so I mean, Kangaskhan also does really well, but I could definitely see my opponent leading off with the Breloom, trying to get a Spore off right away, because those things are wicked fast. So I think what I'm going to do is lead... I mean, worst case scenario, he comes out with he leads Jellicent. Oops. He leads Jellicent. But I think if I... Crocodile can't really deal with the Breloom, which is fine with my opponent. That's what I would lead with. But I think Sylveon actually has kind of an okay matchup here. So I might end up bringing this... So I think what I'm going to do is bring... I kind of want to lead with the Volcarona just in case, because I think it would scare quite a bit out, like, minus the Talonflame. But I think we're going to go with the Krook lead, bring the Volcarona, and bring... And I think Kangaskhan. So this is really bad if he leads with Jellicent could be a problem, especially since a lot of them like to pack the Will-O-Wisp, or just Scalding would be a problem, especially on the Crocodile, because it's not going to be very pretty. Jellicent's one bulky mon, especially since it learns to recover. And we see the Jellicent leading off first, so... I mean, this is an okay lead matchup for me. I mean, I'm just going to go for a knockoff because barring... I'm just going to go for a knockoff right away. I'm okay with dealing with Curse Body. I think I have to be okay with sacking this potentially too. So, that's going to do quite a bit of damage. Not quite knock it out. Come close. Knocking out the Citrus Berry. And he's going to go for a Will-O-Wisp. And I avoid the attack, so this is very, very good for me. Now, I could go for a knockoff here, or I could go for an Earthquake, predicting something else to come in, but I think what I'm going to do... So I'm just going to go for another knockoff here. Whatever. But he could switch out. No, he's just going to stay in and sack off. So that's one big threat out of the way to kind of the Volcarona in the back. So if he brings the Hydreigon, which I don't think he would have, just judging by the amount of damage I could potentially do to his team without it. So I don't think he'd bring that, or I mean, shocker, here's the Talonflame. So, part of me wants to sack off the Volcarona, do what I normally do, sack off the Volcarona, come back, bring it back in, and go for a Rock Slide, which I think is the smart, which is kind of really sucky that I'm using the Volcarona for switch fodder. But I think between the combination of the recoil, if he gets the recoil damage, which is going to bring him down to, again, depending on HP investment, but for the most part, what I've noticed over a while is bring him down to a little under 1/3, or do a little more than 1/3 damage to the Talonflame itself. So this is going to do good night, Volcarona. It was a pleasure bringing you to battle just to sack you off to the Talonflame. But, yeah, it's going to bring him down quite a bit, and he's not Life Orb, meaning Choice Band, possibly. So I could bring in... See, I could bring in the Kangaskhan here. I think the smart play is to do what I normally bring in the Kangaskhan. Fake out. Or do I just go back into the Crocodile and then just Rock Slide him and just hope for the best? I think that's the play I want to make. Bring in the Crocodile, fire off and Intimidate. If he wants to bring in the Mawile to fire off and Intimidate, I'm okay with that, I guess. Because then I'll just Earthquake him because I know I'm faster. So I'm going to go ahead and Rock Slide here. He might... See, this is what I'm curious. How much is the Choice Banded... See, I should have just gone for the knockoff, seeing as that's 100% accurate, and I just played myself. But not going to matter in the end is... As Talonflame's going to go down there, I'm going to be able to live with 5 HP remaining, meaning if the Mawile comes in, it's going to just Sucker Punch me. No point in keeping this thing around. As the final Pokemon is... Breloom? This is kind of an issue. What's... Alright. So... Rock Slide's not super effective. Knockoff's going to do a lot. But he's probably just going to go... If he has Mach Punch, he's going to go for Mach Punch here and just take me out anyway. I'm going to go for the knockoff. So yeah, there's the Mach Punch. Going to take me out. So, good thing I didn't switch in the Kangaskhan there. So, incoming Kangaskhan to wrap things up. I mean, probably the smarter thing to do would have been sacking off the... Probably sacking off the Kangaskhan, going back out. Except, I don't think Kangaskhan... Kangaskhan's a little less HP, but I mean, it still would have done the same. So I'm kind of in a pretty gnarly position right here. So I'm going to fake out. He's probably going to Spore me on the next turn. So I think this is going to be a loss. So incoming fake out, this should do probably around half. Yeah. So the Mach Punch is going to hurt. So is he going to try and... The right play is to Spore me and then Mach Punch me to death. So I'm going to go for a return here. I don't think I'm going to outspeed this speedy little demon, but... What? Okay, so I guess he went for the Spore. Expecting me to go for the Sucker Punch, but nope. I just went for the return. And that deserves some water. Ah, delicious. And that is a 2-0 victory, or 1-0 victory in favor of myself. And that's about going to wrap things up for this episode, and come back in the next episode, we'll have a brand new team. So, hopefully get 2 new victories. I'll have to make that up, but I'll have to make it up. It might be a fun team, might not be. Might be powered to wrap up the season. So I want to thank you for coming out, for watching. Have any suggestions or any Pokemon you'd like to see me try and fail or succeed with spectacularly with, leave them in the comment section down below. But thanks again for watching. I'm going to get up out of here. Have a great day. See you next time. Goodbye.